Good morning, students. In this video, I'll discuss about factors affecting equilibrium. There are some factors which can affect the equilibrium, and these factors are temperature, pressure, concentration, concentration of reaction and reactants and product. Okay, so if any change is brought about in any of these factors, the equilibrium is disturbed. A change in temperature changes the equilibrium constant. Change in temperature changes the equilibrium constant and thereby affect the equilibrium. When the other factors change, when the others factor, that is pressure, concentration of reactant and product, okay, when these other factors change, though the equilibrium constant does not change, the equilibrium is disturbed. Only if you change temperature, only in that case value of equilibrium constant changes. But if you change pressure, concentration of reactant product, the value of equilibrium constant does not change, but the equilibrium is disturbed and the system readjusts to attain a new equilibrium, either by shifting the either by shifting to the right, leading to the increased amount of product, or to the left, leading increasing the quantity of reactants. So how this factors changes the equilibrium or disturb the equilibrium? To answer this question, you have to read about Le Chatelier principle. Le Chatelier principle is a very important principle which helps us to predict the effect of a change in any of these factors in equilibrium. Okay, and this Le Chatelier principle may be expressed as if the conditions of a system which is initially at equilibrium, if the condition of a system which is initially at equilibrium are changed, the equilibrium shift so as to neutralize the change as far as possible, so as to neutralize the effect of change of any factors as far as possible. Okay, if a system if the condition of a system change if the conditions of a systems are changed, the equilibrium shift so as to neutralize the effect of change, so as to neutralize the effect of change as far as possible. This is the statement of Le Chatelier principle. You have to remember the statement. And now application of Le Chatelier principle. Let us discuss the effect of changes in the factors of equilibrium in the light of Le Chatelier principle. First, change in temperature. Change in temperature. I have already told, if temperature changes, value of equilibrium constant changes and equilibrium is disturbed. Okay, so a change in temperature affect the chemical and physical equilibrium. Okay, and chemical equilibrium, there are two types of reaction, endothermic and exothermic reaction. Okay, a reaction in which heat is absorbed is called endothermic reaction, and one in which heat is evolved is called exothermic reaction. That is, temperature falls as an endothermic reaction proceeds and temperature rises during an exothermic reaction. You know that. Now, in reversible reaction, if the forward reaction, you have to remember, in a reversible reaction, if the forward reaction is exothermic, then the backward reaction is endothermic. Okay, forward reaction is exothermic, then backward reaction will be endothermic, and vice versa. Okay, now when temperature is raised or lowered, the equilibrium response to when temperature is raised or lowered, the equilibrium respond by moving the direction which will counter the change in temperature. When the temperature is raised or lowered, the equilibrium responds by moving in the direction which will counter the change in temperature. Okay, so using Le Chatelier principle, you can predict that raising the temperature will derive an endothermic reaction in the forward, okay, forward direction. Rising the temperature will drive an endothermic reaction forward towards greater amount of product and will push an exothermic reaction backwards. Okay. In case of endothermic reaction on increasing temperature, forward reaction will be proceed greater extent. Okay. And in case of exothermic reaction, increasing temperature, backward reaction will proceed to a greater extent. So the equilibrium constant of an endothermic reaction increases. The equilibrium constant of an endothermic reaction increases with temperature, while that of exothermic reaction equilibrium constant decreases with rise in temperature. This is according to Le Chatelier principle. You can say this one. Okay. This point you have to read. Now say change in pressure. Change in pressure. In gaseous reaction, when delta n is equal to 0, when delta n is equal to 0, then there is no change in pressure. When no change in mole number, then there is no change in pressure. There is no change effect on the equilibrium constant on changing pressure. So gaseous reaction for which delta n not is equal to 0, if delta n not is equal to 0, there will be some change effect on equilibrium on changing pressure. Okay, so gaseous reaction for which delta n not is equal to 0 occurs with change in pressure if carried out at constant volume. Okay, so if delta n positive, that means the mole number of product is greater than mole number of reactant. Okay, if delta n is positive, pressure increases from left to right, that is mole number of product is greater than mole number of gaseous reactant. Now if delta n is negative, that is pressure decreases from left to right, because when delta n is negative, that means mole number of product is less than mole number of reactant. Okay, and if delta n is 0, no change in pressure on moving in either direction, because total mole number of reactant is equal to total number of product. Okay, now applying Le Chatelier principle, if a system is in equilibrium, the pressure is increased. Applying Le Chatelier principle, if a system is in equilibrium and pressure is increased, if pressure is increased, the equilibrium shift in the direction in which pressure, that is in which the equilibrium shift in the direction of decrease in pressure. Okay, if a system in equilibrium and pressure is increased, the equilibrium shift in the direction of decrease in pressure, that is in the direction of smaller number of gas molecules, to counter the effect of change, to counter the effect of the change. Okay, so on the other hand, a decrease in pressure, pushes the equilibrium in the direction of increase in pressure, that is towards a larger number of gas molecule. So the change in pressure can be brought about by changing the volume of reaction mixture. One example given here, you can see the reaction N2 plus 3H2 to 2NH3. Here total number of mole number of reactants, that is N2 and hydrogen, total number of reactants are 4, 3 and 1, 4, and total mole numbers of products are 2. Okay, so in the forward direction N2 plus 3H2 to 2NH3, the value of delta n decreases. Okay, 4 to 4 moles gas to 2 mole gaseous product. Okay, so pressure also decreases. So delta n is 2 minus 4, that is minus 2. So pressure decreases from left to right. Pressure in this reaction N2 plus 3H2 to 2NH3, in this reaction delta in is minus 2, so the pressure decreases from left to right and increases from right to left. In the backward reaction pressure increases, okay, but in the forward reaction pressure decreases. So an increase in pressure will push the equilibrium in the direction of decrease in pressure, that is so an increase in pressure, if you increase pressure on this reaction, if you increase the pressure on this reaction, the equilibrium will shift in the direction, in the forward direction, okay, because in the forward direction pressure decreases, okay. So an increase in pressure will push the equilibrium in the direction of decrease in pressure, that is from left to right, and the percentage of ammonia, in the equilibrium mixture will be increased because forward reaction occur with larger amount on increasing pressure, okay, and percentage of ammonia in this equilibrium mixture will be increased, and conversely, if you decrease pressure, the backward reaction will occur to a greater extent, and concentration of ammonia gas will be decreased, okay. So conversely, a decrease in pressure will cause a smaller amount of product to be formed, that is concentration of ammonia will be decreased. So you have to remember this, all this point: effect of temperature, effect of pressure on equilibrium constant. Some example are given. You will ask in the exam like this type of question: N2 plus N2O4 reversible arrow to 2NO2. So what will be the effect? Increase in total pressure. Okay, if total pressure in this reaction, total pressure increases. Okay, if you further increase pressure, the rate of backward reaction will occur to a greater extent, because in forward reaction pressure increases, but in backward reaction pressure decreases. Okay, solution also given, read properly. Now addition or removal of reactant and product. Addition or removal of reactant and or product disturb the existing equilibrium and pushes the system in the direction which counters the stress. Okay, suppose in the reaction N2 plus H2 to 2NH3, N2 plus 3H2 to 2NH3. In this reaction, if you increase if you increase reactant like N2 and H2, then the rate of forward reaction will increase. That is, the equilibrium will shift in the forward reaction to a greater extent. And now, if you add product, that is ammonia, in the equilibrium mixture, if you add product, that is ammonia, in the equilibrium mixture, then the backward reaction, that is ammonia to N2 and H2, will be increased. Rate of backward reaction will be increased, okay. And now if you remove some product from forward, if you remove some ammonia from product side, then the concentration of ammonia uh, will decrease in the product side, so the equilibrium will shift in the forward reaction, okay. So the removal of product, on the other hand, drives the equilibrium to the right. For example, the dissolution of ammonia gas present in the equilibrium mixture in water drives the equilibrium towards the formation of more ammonia gas, okay. And addition of reactants shift the equilibrium in the direction of reduction of amount of reactant, that is in forward reaction, okay. For example, addition of N2 and H2 at N2 gas and H2 gas at constant volume to an equilibrium mixture containing N2H2 and ammonia will shift the equilibrium in the direction of formation of ammonia gas, that is in the forward direction. Graphically it is showing here, okay. Now this point I have already told, that value of equilibrium constant depends on the representation of the equation, okay. Same reaction, if you represent in different ways, then the equilibrium constant will be different. I have already told this point, okay. So what will be the value of equilibrium constant or expression of equilibrium constant? It will depends on the representation of the same chemical reaction. Now predicting the extent of reaction. predicting the extent of reaction using the value of equilibrium constant. If the value of equilibrium constant is greater than 10 to the power 3, then you can say product predominates over reactant. That is, if Kc is very large, that is greater than 10 to the power 3, if value of equilibrium constant is greater than 10 to the power 3, then the reaction proceed nearly to completion. Nearly to completion. Some example are given. For this reaction, case value of Kc is very high. Okay, reaction proceeds nearly to completion. And now if Kc value of Kc equilibrium constant is less than 10 to the power minus 3, 10 to the power minus 3, less than 10 to the power minus 3, the reactant predominates over, in this case, when Kc is less than minus 10 to the power minus 3, the reactant predominate over product. That is, if Kc is very small, the reaction proceed rarely. Okay, and some example are given. In this reaction, value of Kc is very less. Okay, so see this representation. Value of Kc is, if value of Kc is greater than 10 to the power 3, then the reaction is almost completed. And if less than minus 3, 10 to the minus 3, value of Kc is less than minus 3, then reaction, very small amount of reaction take place. Okay, very small amount of reaction take place. So using the value of equilibrium constant, you can say how much the reaction proceed. Now predicting the direction of reaction, it depends on the value of one more thing here, one term reaction quotient, it is like equilibrium constant. It is like equilibrium constant, but it is reaction quotient is represented by Qc or Q. Okay, and it is similar to equilibrium constant, but the term equilibrium constant is only applicable when the reaction is in equilibrium. But reaction quotient, you can apply the concept of reaction quotient at any time, at the time of starting of the reaction, after the equilibrium formation, that is at the time of almost completion of reaction. You can always apply the concept of reaction quotient. Reaction quotient also calculated by similar method of calculation of equilibrium constant, that is Qc is equal to, like Kc, Qc is equal to concentration of product divided by concentration of reactants. Okay, so for a general reaction, A small a capital A small b capital B, reversible arrow, small c capital C small d capital D, Qc is equal to concentration of C to the power C into concentration of D to the power D divided by concentration of A to the power A, concentration of B to the power B. But the term you can always you can apply at any instant of the reaction, but Kc is only applicable when the reaction is in equilibrium. Okay, so equilibrium constant helps in predicting the direction in which the given reaction will proceed at any stage. For this purpose, we calculate the reaction quotient. The reaction quotient Q, or it is also called, it is also represented as Qc, like Kc, and it is defined in the same way as equilibrium constant Kc, except the concentration of Qc are not necessarily equilibrium value. If the reaction is in equilibrium, then the value of Qc and Kc is same. If value of Qc and Kc is same, then you can say the reaction is in equilibrium. But if Qc is less than Kc, the reaction will proceed in the direction of reactants. Okay, that is reverse reaction. If value of Qc is less than Kc, the reaction will proceed in the reverse direction. If value of Qc is uh, if value of Qc is greater than Kc, then the reaction will proceed in the reverse direction, and if value of Qc is less than Kc, then the reaction will proceed in the forward direction. Okay, and if Qc and Kc value are same, then the reaction is equilibrium. Okay, so diagrammatically it is showing here, if Qc its value is less than Kc, then the forward reaction proceed. If Qc value is greater than Kc, then backward reaction, reverse reaction proceed. and if QC and KC value same, then you can say the reaction is in equilibrium. Okay. Now relation between equilibrium constant, reaction quotient and Gibbs free energy. Okay, and the relation is Q delta G is equal to delta Z 0 plus RT ln Q, where Q is the reaction quotient. Okay, and at equilibrium Q is equal to Kc. At equilibrium Q is equal to K. Okay, and at equilibrium you have to remember that at equilibrium value of Gibbs free energy is equal to 0. You have already studied in thermodynamics chapter that for reverse for spontaneous process, a spontaneous chemical reaction, delta G is negative. For spontaneous chemical change or process, delta G is positive for non-spontaneous chemical process or non-spontaneous processes. For non-spontaneous process, delta G is positive. For spontaneous process, delta G is negative. And if delta G Gibbs free energy change is 0, then the reaction is in equilibrium. Okay, so for equilibrium, for reversible reaction, if the reaction is in equilibrium, you can write delta G is equal to 0 and Q equal to Kc. Okay, reaction quotient is equal to equilibrium constant when the reaction is in equilibrium. So the relation becomes like this: delta G 0 is equal to minus RT ln K. Delta G is the Gibbs free energy change, and delta G 0 is the standard Gibbs free energy change. Okay, at equilibrium value of delta G is 0, but value of delta Z 0 not equal delta Z 0 not is not equal to 0. Okay, this is the standard Gibbs free energy. So the relation between standard Gibbs free energy change, that is delta G 0, and equilibrium constant K is delta G 0 is equal to minus RT ln K. Okay, and using the value of delta G, you can say how much reaction is already proceed, or the reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. Okay, in the next day I'll discuss about uh, ion equilibrium, and you have to solve such type of numerical problem based on this equation, that is delta G 0 is equal to minus RT ln K. Okay, if you convert the ln into logs, then the delta G equation will become delta G 0 is equal to minus 2.303 RT log K. Okay, bye students.